And we are live. Yes, this is your girl Morello Kane. I know it's been a minute. It's been a minute. We are on a new series and we are talking and addressing all of your scalp issues. Okay, we are talking about scalp cultivation. Yes, it is scalp cultivation because you truly have to cultivate your scalp in order to get the growth that you want. Okay, the growth that you're looking for. And so this series is going to take us from now to June. We're going to be talking about it, digging deep into the things that you should be looking for when it pertains to your scalp. All right. And so we are going to talk about three of those things that three factors that you should look for when assessing your hair when it pertains to your scalp, because that's again where hair growth starts. And so, yes, my name is Morella Kane. I am the founder of The Hair Debate, author of Seven Love Languages of Hair. Okay. And I'm the host here that is truly addressing again all of your needs. So thank you for being with me today. I'm in the industry, have been here for over 20 years. So a passion I do have when it comes to addressing your hair care needs. Okay. I'm all about that. Okay. When it comes to, because again, everything is into your image and how you feel. Okay. And your hair is a part of that. Okay. One of, your hair, your look, your image, that's all connected together in your self-confidence and how you feel. And so again, we're addressing three factors that you should be aware of, okay, when you are assessing your scalp. So let's get right into it. And then so now if you have any questions, please do post them here if you have any questions. Definitely, so we can, if not addressing them in this particular live, then when we bring on our other professionals, we will definitely address your questions that you have here. So do post those because we will be answering them. Okay, so now what are three? I'm going to address three factors that you should definitely look for. Okay. And these are things that, because when it pertains to our scalp, if you have any issues pertaining to your scalp, you want to seek a dermatologist. So that's the individual that's going to assess your scalp. And they have the tools to do that. They're going to look at your scalp underneath a scope that will basically tell them a lot of that will explain some of the issues that you may be addressing when it comes to your scalp. But then also too, they should do blood work. Okay. So not everyone, not all dermatologists do the blood work, so definitely you want to find a dermatologist that you could connect with that can actually assess, doing the blood work, doing the lab work, which falls up under the blood work, and then two, the tools to look underneath your scalp, the scopes for that. Okay, so let's talk about it. One of the things that you should definitely be aware of when it comes to when you are assessing your scalp at home, that would be thinness. Okay, thinness. Okay, so now we're not talking about breakage. Breakage is different than thinness. How so? Okay, so now you can have breakage in different areas of your hair. Okay, but now you will see where there will still be some thickness right there at the new growth area. Okay, and so the hair that's on the ends have basically broken off from that new hair that has grown in, but the new hair is existing. Okay, the density of it is rich. Okay, and so with that, that's breakage. Okay, very different than thinness. Now, let me say this. When you kind of feel your hair, it will feel thin here, but up in here, it will still be the density will still be thick. Okay, so we're not seeing any thinness at the scalp. That is more so on the ends. Okay, so now that is breakage. But now when you have thinness and you see that at the scalp area, um, some of that area there at the scalp, you will be able to actually see the scalp. The density is not there. And actually, you could compare it to another area on your head that may be full. Okay. And so where there is no thickness existing, and then you will be able to see the two of the contrast to say, okay, yes, this is not breakage, this is thinness from the scalp. So that's what we want to look at. We want to assess it and look and see. We're looking for the thinness at the scalp. Okay, that is when that is a red flag, basically. Okay, because at that point we know that there are some follicles there where that hair strand is not coming through. Okay, so at that case, it's like, okay, what's going on? What is causing this thinness? Okay, and so definitely something that causing that. Okay, and so now let me say this. When I have spoken to clients, when I have seen this in clients' hair that I have serviced, and I have said to them, I am seeing some thinness in this area. The first thing that they may say is, oh, you know what, I wonder if it's heat damage. No, that's not heat damage. Now again, you could have some breakage that may have come from some heating tools, misuse, or something like that, but that's not the same thing. And I would say to them, no, this has nothing to do with the heating tool, but everything to do with your follicles. So at this time, I would like for you to go and be seen by a dermatologist, because they are the only ones, again, that can actually go underneath with the scope, your scalp, and assess it to see what is really going on. Okay. And so again, thinness at the scalp, not breakage, is a red flag that you should definitely look into. Okay. Flakes. Okay. And so I'm not talking about the type of flakes that you part your hair, you just, you see a little flakes here and there, maybe a little bit more on one side than the other side. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about flakes to the point where, if you show it to your husband or a family member, someone in your home, and you showing them your flakes, and they're like scared to touch it. Okay, those type of flakes that I'm talking about, they can be kind of sticky. Um, be a little moist. Okay, that's when you know that, okay, I'm dealing with flakes that's not normal. Okay, when you have flakes um where the skin is irritated, meaning that once you flake up those, kind of comb up those flakes, and the skin is kind of irritated around that. Okay, that's something, that's a red flag. You need to have your scalp assessed, because some flakes, are normal. A little dry skin when you're not drinking enough water. But when you know that you have your big gallon, it's a summertime, and or you have conscious, about your health and wellness, and you drinking it down. You flowing with the water, run to the restroom every 30 minutes. Okay. Okay, so then you know that you have sufficient water intake. So water is not the issue. If you are drinking a 16 ounces of water, say 2 times a day, then you may need a little bit more water. And so try ingesting that, do that, and then see if anything changes when it comes to, again, your scalp and the flakes. But again, if you have some irritation with around, down your bit flakes, then, and it's all over, then yes, definitely you need to have that assessed. Okay, because you can have some irritation coming from a product. You could have, and this could very well, again, be internal. Okay, internal. And so, again, these are conditions prior to it getting worse that you could see. Again, prior to, you having just, where, okay, the hair loss is at this point severe and there's nothing that can be done. Okay, well, the density has now been affected. Okay, and so you see at that time more hair loss. So we want to look for these red flags. And again, going to a professional, which is a dermatologist, to assess your scalp. Okay. All right. Right. So now let's talk about alopecia. Alopecia is, when it comes to alopecia is huge. Men, women of different ages experience alopecia. Okay, but again, just because your mom them they had it, does not mean that you have to encounter those problems as well. Okay, because again, they were not seeking professional help. They thought that this was just something that happened. My hair is going to fall out. I try, they got some nice wigs out there. Let me start embracing those. And that's how they dealt with it, but now, yes, glory. There is, we now have health care. And so again, it's going to a dermatologist before it gets too bad. That's what you need to do. Okay, because again, when it comes to alopecia, different types. Okay, different types. Over 100 different types of patterns of when it comes to conditions, alopecia conditions. But now let me say this. They do tend to prescribe the same, have the same procedure when it comes to, alopecia. And so definitely you want to seek a dermatologist that is also experienced in hair care. Okay. And one that is a team to the hair debate is Dr. Nikki Hill. If you are locally here in Georgia, okay, Dr. Nikki Hill of SOCA Centers. Okay, so, but when I tell you a dermatologist, that is very, very key when it comes to, that's her expertise, so she also does, other factors of the skin, but that's her expertise is also too in hair care and hair loss. And so, so when it comes to alopecia, now let me say this, when for alopecia, alopecia starts where the scalp, it looks shiny. The scalp starts to look like when you rub across it, like what leather will feel like. And so would be soft. Okay, it's soft. You can, if you were to kind of go through and you can feel like the softness of it. Okay, so now when you start developing alopecia, there is a firmness that it has. Okay, it does not feel the same as the healthy scalp that's on your head. It feels totally different. Okay, so it has and then also too, you will start seeing some thinness in that area as well. Okay, so again, understanding that you're going to feel some thinness see some thinness in the area as well, and also feel You will know the difference. But again, you will be able to, when you rub across it, it will feel, it feels hard, firm. That's the word. It gives more of a firm, when you actually feel it. It feels firm. And then also too, if you look at it, it starts, it has more of a shine or sheen to it, compared, because again, the follicles, if you do not have it addressed, what starts to happen is inflammation starts to develop underneath the scalp, and the body is going to do how God designed it to do. And so that's to heal itself. And so in doing that, it's going to develop a scalp underneath it. Once it develops that scalp, that's when that follicle is affected. Okay, so that follicle at that point, you're going to lose that follicle. It's going to close down, and the hair strand would not, the hair follicle would not be able to come up through that scalp. That follicle is going to be dead. And so that's one of the things that you truly have to understand. If you suspect that you may have alopecia, you definitely need to get that assessed. Okay. And so our last red flag here is excessive itchiness. Okay, itchy scalp. Okay, so let's talk about this, because you know what? We have an itchy scalp, and then it's like, okay, what product do I put on it? Okay, and if you're not using a moisturizer on your scalp, then maybe that's what you need. But if you know that you are moisturizing, and it's like you have to, you feel like you want to just dig your scalp out, that's a problem. Okay, that's a problem. That should not be, because again, just going in that area, scratching, digging, scratching, you're going to irritate your scalp, and then that friction going across your hair follicle and your scalp, you're going to have some breakage there. Okay, so there's going to be some hair loss if you do not correct that issue. Okay, and so again, when you, if you experience excessiveness, that you feel like you want to dig into your scalp, then know that, okay, it's like, okay, if you have been using a moisturizer, okay, what else could be going on? Let me look into this further. But if you know that you are not applying any type of moisturizing on your hair, then go ahead and start with that. Okay. And so again, these are some of the key factors that you can assess with your scalp at home, from home. Okay. That you can. But now again, if you are concerned with something, go and talk to your hair care provider, and just get a second opinion. And then, we can definitely look and see and say, okay, you know what? You do need to see a dermatologist for this. Okay. And so again, we will be addressing so many different things, bringing professionals on to interview and address some of the conditions, because you know what? Now, let me just say this. There are natural products for inflammation, such as turmeric. Okay. Turmeric is great for inflammation, but now they have created other products that helps with inflammation internally. Okay. And so I am going to bring on a professional that's going to address one of the questions that I have for that. Okay, since we know that alopecia exists from inflammation being underneath the scalp and not being addressed, and then the body will do what it is designed to do, which is going to scalp up. okay, to protect and heal that area until it heals. Okay, so now my question, so when I, heard about these products that helps with inflammation, I'm like, wow, would it then go, and then could it possibly, if it's going to, take care of that from the inside, eat away all of that inflammation, can it still do so on the scalp underneath that? Okay. Because if that be the case, that, I'm just saying, okay, saving some dollars in your pocket when you can again use a product that again is going to, a natural product that is going to help with inflammation, then, that could be one of the key factors to, help fight against alopecia. Your girl is going to find out. I'm gonna ask. So again, we will be bringing on other professionals. So if you have questions, do again post those. Leave your questions there again. So when as we are scheduling these shows, bringing on the professionals, the experts that's going to address these issues, we can get your questions answered. And so again, do stay tuned with us. We will be back with you in 2 weeks. Okay, Monday at 7 p.m. All right. And so we're going to get the answer to that question. Could those natural products that assist with inflammation internally help, okay, heal alopecia, the inflammation that starts there? We are going to find out. Again, my name is Morello Kane. This is the Hair Debate, the platform where we debunk, debate, and discover all things hair. So definitely stay tuned. We'll come back with you, our next show with our expert. I'll see you then.